Hi everyone, it's Sarah from Plansarahplan, and welcome to my December setup plan with me. Welcome everyone. It's the day after Thanksgiving right now, and I have a little bit of time to do some planning, and I actually need to do my weekly plan with me too. But since this coming week is after the December tab, I want to jump in and do my slightly more involved plan with me for the whole month. First of all, so I'm going to decorate. This is a sticker kit called Homespun Christmas. It's from my sticker shop, Plansarahplan, and I'll just flip through the sheets for you. This one has icons and full boxes, and these are dashboard stickers. And this one is more dashboard stickers and scripts, more dashboard. And here is the header for the month view, some event labels, a sidebar, some numbers, and more event labels. And this kit came with 3 freebies. This is the first freebie, and I love it. I called this kit Homespun just because this looks to me like mittens that someone has made at home, and stockings and hats that someone has made at home, and some pine cones there. This is just an asterisk strip freebie, and I'm hoping to use this to maybe stretch across some days if I link them together, and a stocking freebie that I will put on my Prayer of the Month page down in the bottom corner. So let's go ahead and decorate. So before this video is over, I'm going to change the cover on my planner. I personalized this Etta V Christmas tree cover with just Merry Christmas, but you could also put another sentiment or your name up there, but I just wanted to put Merry Christmas at the top. And on the back, there is another tree. This one doesn't say Merry Christmas on the back, but I think it's just exactly the same. And it's so really pretty, and the colors are not like gloomy winter colors. They are so happy and cheerful. So I can't wait to switch that out and change my fall cover. What do I have right now? This one. This is a great one too, though. This was not a gloomy fall cover. This was a really cheerful fall cover. Okay, so I've already got one sticker on there just because I couldn't resist putting it down. That is from my deco set, and I have a set 1 and a set 2, and set 2 is all stickers for the nativity. So illustrations of Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus and 3 kings and some of the stable animals, as well as the donkey that they took to Bethlehem. And then set 1 I am going to pull out because it matches Homespun Christmas pretty well. It's just bright traditional Christmas symbols and things, and I'll pull that out and show it to you pretty soon here. And starting with my January kits, I've got a change of fonts and a few other things for my 2026 kits. And so right now, January and February are out. So I was very late getting January out, but I was a little bit early getting February out. And so I feel like I'm caught up now. And I also came out with a special edition weekly kit that is called Oh Come, Let Us Adore Him. And I will show you that in this video because that's going to be in my lineup for my weekly themes. And I like to show you those ahead of time in case you decide you want to do the same theme sometime. And I don't just use my stickers, I also use stickers from other shops. And I think this month I just have some Boulder Bond. I don't know what other shops I have for December. I won't cross that bridge when we get to it. And I'm going to finish bordering out this spread before we do anything else. And I like to put a washi strip along the bottom and the left side. When this planner's right side up, it's the left side. And I call my borders emotional support borders because I just don't like open-ended boxes. And that goes for my weekly spread also in the dashboard layout. I like to put borders around them. I don't know why. It just makes me feel better. So that's why I call them my emotional support borders. And of course, if you get this kit, you could use these for something else entirely. They don't have to be borders. But I like a border. Okay, so if this video is a little bit quick, It's because I have a million things to do. It's the day after Thanksgiving. I wanted to get all my new kits up in my shop in time for my holiday sale, which is today and tomorrow. So my whole shop is 25% off. And wink, wink, hint, hint, go shop. It's a good time to shop because I don't run sales very often. I ran a test sale one time, and that's the only other sale I've ever done. Okay, so I am going to go into time lapse to put these down. So let's do a before shot. Here's the before shot. And then after time lapse, we'll have the after shot. Isn't that a big difference? So this is the after. And I'm going to put some headers in the sidebar, starting with my goals, and then more specifically, household goals, and then any deadlines that I have. There usually aren't that many, so I will just put those a little bit low on the page, and I'll write those a little bit later. Let's go ahead and put paydays down, and I'll look on my calendar real quick and see. Actually, I can just flip back to November, and the last payday is on the 28th, so that means we're going 12th and 26th. And for that, I have these cute little dollar signs right here. And let's use the green ones and have them come out like this from the side of the day. And then we're going to layer that with some payday stickers. And I moved my payday stickers over to a sheet that had some empty space on it. Kind of consolidated things a bit. So here are my payday stickers, which I will put on top of the money like that. And I've got a couple more paydays. So we're going to switch to a different color of money. So this, I'm just differentiating between my husband and myself. I'm going with the red money now. And I'll put one right here. Let's see how that looks with this same payday flag. Probably nice because of the contrast. Yeah. And then we're going to have another one right here. And I think I will dig into my pink money. And I don't have any more payday flags, but I can just put some pink money on some other like small little paydays. One right here. Right here. And that will just speak for itself. Okay, birthdays this month. Well, we have Jesus, don't we? So it would probably be weird if I just put a birthday sticker there, but you know what I mean when I say birthday. That is Jesus's birthday. And I'm going to steal something from my upcoming weekly kit, which I will show you now. This is my new dashboard weekly kit called Come Let Us Adore Him. The vertical has way more artwork in it than the dashboard does. This is for the dashboard layout. But here's what I'm going to steal. I have scriptures and other things on this freebie. And this one just says, Merry Christmas. Put it over here so it doesn't mess up that 25. This looks kind of funny, doesn't it? I don't know. Maybe just Merry Christmas, and maybe put the Merry Christmas down here. Oh my goodness, got a better one. Oh, come let us adore him, Christ the Lord. We're going to do that. I don't want to cover up the Holy Family though. So I'm just going to put this over to the left. There we go. And then the Merry Christmas can be here. That looks a little bit better to me. Oh, I like it. And then I will just save this birthday sticker. How about a decorative full box right here underneath the December header on the 30th of November, which is tomorrow. Goodness, time has been flying. Okay, and then let's put one maybe over here. Okay, and then I have some full boxes that are empty in the middle where I can write. And on the 14th, I have a Christmas recital. That is a big deal. And we're having family Christmas on the 31st. And on the 6th, we are having a birthday brunch. So I will use these for those 3 events and write on these stickers with my Evolve gel pen, which is not really a gel pen anymore because I changed the ink to be a Pilot Precise. And I love it now because I love the weight of this vegan leather gel pen, which you may or may not still be able to get. But I love the weight of it, and I love the ink in the Pilot Precise. Okay, so on this one, which one looks like a Christmas recital? And which one looks like a brunch, and which one looks like family Christmas? I think this one's family Christmas on the 31st. And I think this one is brunch, birthday brunch, and this one is the Christmas recital. Okay, Christmas recital there, family Christmas here, and birthday brunch here. Okay, and then I will lift up the date to make room for these full boxes and then put the date back down. And we'll put the family Christmas one on the 31st. I will also have to scoot the pink money. So these tweezers are from Laurel Denise, and I love them. And I have them linked in the video description. However, I don't know if they're in stock. The last time I looked, they were not, but they were going to be restocked. So I don't know, but I really like them for stickers. Okay, and then birthday brunch. This is for 2 family members, one who had an October birthday and one who has his birthday tomorrow. Okay. There we go. So I have some pink and red church buildings. So I'm going to use pink and red event labels to write church. And this one I will be playing piano at church. So I think since I have red and red here, I'll mix pink with that. And then I'll put red here to mix the red with the green. So I'm going to write church on these 2 and these 2. Okay, and on the first Sunday of the month, I play piano. So we'll use this piano at church one here. And I'm just going to put it right under the date and scoot it all the way. You know what? Since we have the advantage of this margin, I'm going to do it this way and put it on top of that emotional support border that I put right there. And then we'll put, I don't know if it's going to look good, but let's try it. And then a red church building right here. All right, this one might be more tricky, but we'll see what happens. Do pink next. Put it all the way over to the edge. And then a pink church building right here. So far it's okay. It's not bothering me. I think it's an okay thing to do. Just have extra space on the left. And a red church building right here. And then we'll do one more pink one. And it says here, winter begins there. It feels like winter has begun already because right now it feels like it's about 10 degrees outside. That is with the wind chill. And I'm in southwestern Virginia and it's nippy. All right. In piano lessons, this is going to be lesson 12. This is lesson 13. And then we're on break. So let's put lesson 12 and lesson 13 here. I have an idea for the 3 weeks, yes, 3 weeks, that I will have off before the spring term begins. And whenever I say off, I'm going to be so busy doing other stuff. It's just always that way. But I'm off from piano lessons. All right, so we're going to take one of these asterisk strips, and instead of going all the way across for 3 weeks, because I don't have enough of these to do that, I'm just going to make a vertical line and connect these into a long asterisk chain. And it looks like I'm going to go over a bit, so maybe I'll just overlap the sticker. I like it better like this, and then I'll trim the sticker. This is a handy scraper, by the way, and it's linked in the video description. Okay, so that is no piano, and maybe I should write no piano or no lessons on something and layer it with that. Maybe I could. Or I could put it like this. Kind of like that. So I don't have to turn sideways to read it. Okay, we will just write no lessons right there. Good. I like that. I like the no lessons, and I like how that looks. And now I'm going to go back into time lapse and fill in some other things on these event labels and be right back. So that is an abbreviated overview of December because there's going to be more to it than just that. And I am going to list my goals here. I don't want there to be a ton of them, but I will put, how about 4? And I'm not going to be able to do it on camera this time just because I've got a huge list going on right now and I can't, but I will put 4 main goals there, and then I will put maybe a little bit of deco in that space, and then let's have like 3 household goals. And I'm just alternating colors here, obviously. I don't know if you can see the light blue because it's pretty light. And then deadlines. I don't want to have a lot of deadlines, but I'm going to just give myself a couple of spots for possible deadlines. Let's do like a green dot and be done with that. And then let's see if we have some deco we want to add. I know I have the deco that goes with this kit right here, and that might be what I want to do. Like I could put a pine cone in between, or the little stocking. No, that's too big. I can't do that. I think that these would be better maybe on some of these open days. But over here on the this is set 1 of my deco set. There are some stickers that aren't all that big. So I know I have 1, 2 candles here. That might be all of my candles. The holly would probably work. And let's see here. Yeah, we could put the holly right there. And the candles are pretty small. Let's see if the candles work out. The household goals, the little flame is going to be right in the middle of those. So I'll put it here, and that way I can work around it. I don't really need deco here because there's already these ornaments. But let's take these guys and put them down on the open days. I love that mitten. We don't have a lot of open days. We just have that one. And this is actually January 1st right there. I could put one there. And I don't really need this, do I? So I had space for 1, 2... Oh, that's what's going on. I was wondering why I had a sticker left for my Plan With Me filming. It's because I just overlooked this week altogether. But I'm going to try to film on Thursdays for those weeks. I obviously cannot do that on Christmas Day, but I could film it, maybe not Christmas Eve, but how about 2 days ahead? So that Plan With Me is definitely going to be one that is ahead of schedule. It'll have to be. Or else, if it just doesn't happen, I can come in on the weekend and do it. So let's go like that. Okay. And I could put some deco on top. What do you think about that? I'm going for it. And I could do some pine cones. There's just so much deco up here in the header already that I don't need any. But maybe I could just put some as embellishments. I don't know. Like right here in the corner. And kind of like the pine cones in a bunch. So what if I did a couple of pine cones there and a pine cone here. And then we have a stocking. Where's that going to go? Doesn't really match that. Well, you know, it works okay. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, so let's do a slow motion flyover of the month view. Here we go, and these are the main events that I know of for the month so far, and I can go in and write directly on the page. I also have some leftover event labels that I can keep with my planner and add to this spread with as I go through the month. And now flipping over to the dashboard page, the first thing we're going to do is just put down the boxes that will be the foundation for this. And those are right here. So let's see. The December header is light pink, so that would probably look best above this red one instead of that light blue one. And let's just put it down here, and then we can put the December on top of it. Just like that. And then the lower box is kind of a snowy blue snowman scene. Okay, and then the giant box over here, the to-do list box, I actually split and use it for 2 different sections. So I have like a stripe pattern with poinsettias on top of it. Okay, like that one. And then we've got pink with red polka dots for this bottom box. Okay, so now we're going to set these up with actual stuff. First up is my habit of the month, which goes in this box. And I'm just putting a little line here to make kind of a title area. And I have a script that says habit of the month. And I'm going to keep the same habit that I used last month, which was to do Project Life, which is my 2025 method of scrapbooking. It's digital scrapbooking. So I'm doing a page at night. Like when I get in bed, instead of scrolling on my phone, the goal is that I will look through my pictures and see if I have new stuff that I can scrapbook in my Project Life app. So that's going to go here. Okay, and I wrote with the bold tip of this Erin Condren dual tip marker, the old style, because I still have these. And it was the first thing that came to my hand when I sought a bolder tip. This box is going to be for sticker kits or themes, and I'm happy to say that starting with my January 2026 kits, I have changed this to be themes of the week. So that really applies more because it's not always a sticker kit, at least not in my case, not always. So this little title area will have to be up a little higher to keep space for 4 weeks of themes or sticker kits. Okay, so I know what the first one's going to be. It is going to be the companion for this. So Homespun Christmas, the weekly version. And I should be able to film both a dashboard and vertical plan with me with that one because I have both of those available. And sometimes I can't film both just because it is just very time consuming, especially if I don't have like something to use that is worth filming in one of the layouts. And dashboard is my main one right now. So I always have a dashboard kit I can use. And I have told Bonnie at Boulder Bond, who always sends me her newest collection, that I am going to try to fit in some more vertical plan with me's moving forward. So I think she's going to maybe send me some vertical kits that match the dashboard kits. But on the first week, I don't know what the dates are. Let's look and see. It's going to be the 1st through the 7th. We're going to have Homespun Christmas. The second week, which will be December 8th through the 14th, is going to be Boulder Bond, Candy Lane. So these are the 3 sheets that are with the dashboard kit, and it's very cute and almost sort of vintage looking. So Boulder Bond, I have a discount code with. It's Sarah15 if you ever want to shop with Bonnie. Sarah15 will get you 15% off. And Candy Lane is going to go here. All right, it's the next day now. Different clothes on, and I have figured out a few things that I didn't realize yesterday when I was filming. For one thing, when I counted up the weeks that we will have before the January tab, there were actually 5. So I scooted these dots a little bit and added a 5th one. Okay, so the 3rd week, we're going to use another Boulder Bond kit. This one is called Sugar Plum Sleigh Ride, and it has a lot of evergreens and gifts and some pine cones, and I think that will be lovely for that week. And then on the 52nd week of the year, which will include Christmas, we are going to use the kit that I made by request called Oh Come Let Us Adore Him. Here's a look at the vertical version. So here is a special full box of the Holy Family and the 3 Kings and some what do we call them? The creatures of the field. And then the same freebie that I showed you a while ago that is in the dashboard kit, date covers. And then the washi says, Come Let Us Adore Him. Here are the event labels, and I have revamped this business down here. So I've separated the icons from the script, I've enlarged the script, and I have added a few things. And then here are the full boxes for this kit, and you can just see what we have here, just different parts of this scene. And then the dashboard kit, I think I already went through all the pages, but here's another quick look. Those are the event labels. Here is some washi and one decorative box. That's all the deco really that you get in the dashboard kit. And then here are the larger boxes and date covers, a freebie, and the same freebie, which we've already pulled a few things from. So Come Let Us Adore Him is the 4th theme. And then the 5th week will be viewer's choice. And I just this moment put a poll in my Facebook group, Plansarahplan's Planner Circle, and it will be a quick sampling, just whoever has a chance to see that post and vote. But I put up 2 choices. One was an EC sticker sheet plus add-ons that I would probably make to go with the sticker sheet. The second choice was a printable kit from an Etsy shop. Not from my Etsy shop, but one of my favorites. I'm not sure which, but I would do some shopping around. So those were the 2 choices I put up. There's a chance somebody may add a third option. And what I'm going to do is leave this blank and then come back to it in a few minutes after we plan a few other things. So let's go on now to the top part of this large box, which is where I put my book of the month. And this month's book is called The Wish Book Christmas, and it's by Liene Austin. And I printed out the cover art with my HP Sprocket Select. That is linked down in the video description if you would like to get one. The Sprocket Select does print on a slightly larger size paper, even though this is still very small, than the original HP Sprocket, and I like that size for this. So I'm just going to peel this off and place it here. Isn't that a cute picture? And then I have a header for this, which I will place sort of overlapping the cover. And then I'm going to put a divider that lines up with this divider. This is where I will put my challenge of the month. If I can ever get this lined up. Okay, there we go. I'm going to try something slightly different and put challenge of the month here. And one more of these since I have an extra. I'll hold it up first just to make sure I like how that looks. I think I like it. Maybe a little bit closer. Need to just use my hands to get it started. Okay, and I know what my challenge of the month is going to be. Maybe you can guess if you watched last month's and the month before that and the month before that and the month before that. I am going to try to have a launch of my rewrite of the very old prayer book, God's Minute. I have already seen some mock-ups of the PDF, which I told you last month that I have someone helping me to work on this now. Or maybe I told you in a weekly plan with me. And this person has some experience that I don't have working with the Kindle Direct Publishing, which is what I'm doing in order to make this available as a paperback and a Kindle on Amazon. So, publish God's Minute. This is the month. I really want it to happen this month. Here we are. And so 3 other goals will be put down here as things that I want to make progress on. And since I used up my empty full boxes, except for just one, I'm going to have to just do this right on the page. I normally will use 3 of these boxes and put 3 goals to make progress on. But I think what I'll do is maybe just put this one in the middle and write directly on this other sticker for the other 2. And we'll go ahead and put the header down also. Make progress on, and this will go right above that. So the first one, even though it was actually my challenge of the month this past month, was to finish my 2024 scrapbooks. They're not quite finished. In fact, I didn't make any progress on them this month. It's just been too busy. I don't know why, but it has been. It's not just Thanksgiving. Other things have kept me really busy. So that's still on the list. Finish my 2024 scrapbooks. That will be first and foremost. We're right there. My next goal will be to finish preparing for the recital. So I will just write recital prep. That is on December 14th. And finally, instead of just a goal, I want to really make it my mission to enjoy the Christmas season and to really reflect on the true meaning of Christmas, to do some things that are just for fun, maybe even close up my sticker shop for a week, do some things that I don't normally have time to do. So enjoy the season. There we are. So this page is finished except for Viewers' Choice Week. So I'm going to go take a peek and see if anybody has had a chance to vote on that, and I'll be right back. Okay, so actually a few have had a chance to vote. Right now it's 5-2 in favor of a printable kit from an Etsy shop. I'll give it a few more minutes, see if we can get up to at least double-digit votes before I settle on that. Over here is the next page we're going to work on. This is where I do my prayer of the month, and for my friend Shania, in honor of her request, and because she has recently had a brand new baby boy, I am going to do my prayer handwritten. That's what she loves to see me do. And so I will do a handwritten prayer this month. And it's a very simple setup. I just put a strip of washi and then a title, Prayer of the Month. And I tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and just write it right now in time lapse, and you guys will see it whiz by, but I want to be able to give it some thought as I am working on it, of course. And I'm going to go ahead and place my big deco down here in the bottom right corner so I can work around that. Does it look better like this or this? If it were hanging on a chimney, it would be hanging from this corner and it would look like this. So let's just go ahead and do it that way. All right, be right back. Okay, so this is what we have on these two pages, and I did check back in with the poll on my Facebook group, and there are 40 votes in, so that's enough for me, and the winner is get a printable sticker kit from an Etsy shop. So that's going to go on that 5th week spot for Viewer's Choice. There we go. So now let's flip back to the notes page before the month spread and do the memory verses. The only thing I really have to do to get ready to set up this page is to put a layer of washi tape and a title at the top of the page, just like basically what I did on the Prayer of the Month page. So the script is part of the kit, and I have 5 little hearts that I'm going to use for each week's memory verse, just to kind of mark the beginning of each one. And I have some Bibles to put on either side of the memory verse header. And I've printed out all of the memory verses for December. I originally only printed out 4, so I wrote in the 5th one once I realized we actually had 5 verses to cover this month. So the first one for week 49, or December 1st through the 7th, is, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." And that is Matthew 5:6. For December 8th through the 14th, or week 50, the verse is from Colossians 3:13. "As the Lord has forgiven you, so you also must forgive." Then for December 15th through the 21st, which is week 51, "The Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." Matthew 20:28. For week 52, the last week of 2025, "But he made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men." Philippians 2:7. And the "he" is not actually written in the script, but it is implying he. And now we're on the first week of 2026, December 29th through January 4th. You are my fortress, my refuge in times of trouble. Psalm 59, verse 16. And here's a slow motion flyover for you of the memory verses page. I got a little mixed up on my last verse and swapped my refuge and my fortress, but I'm going to leave it. And the two pens that I used to write these verses were the darkest red and a very dark green of the old Erin Condren dual tip markers. So here we are with both of these pages, the memory verses on the left, and over here on the right, I put the nativity figures from my set 2 of Deco, these large scripture verses and the Holy Family, and I outlined them in black just because I thought that made it look a little better on that floral background. And then my monthly view is all set up except for the sidebar, which I will do after filming. And then here is the dashboard and the prayer of the month all set up. So we are going to change the cover, but before we do that, I'm going to do a little bit of show and tell. The pocket planner from Erin Condren is not going to be offered for 2026. So this is where I kept my master list of verses for the year, and now these are all used up. So this was the first half of the year, this was the second half of the year. And then I could write my verses in the weekly pages. So that's kind of what I do. I write down the verses to help me memorize them. This is what I'm going to use in 2026. The key differences are going to be apparent right away. This is thinner. The paper is thinner, but it's roughly the same size. It's a spiral pocket planner. There are a few things that are going to be different about it, but I can still do this same job with it. So I can put my master list back here on, there are 3 notes pages, so that's plenty for my master list. This is from the Passionate Penny Pincher. I probably won't use these. These are like home checklists and things in the beginning. But one thing that I really like about this one for Bible verses is that every month does have its own verse. So I may occasionally use the verses that are on the monthly spread, but that's not what I'm going to mainly be using this for. I will keep my master list in it, and then this is a nice, almost a better space for writing the verses than what I had over here because the lines are very close together here. They're a little bit more spread out. There's a checklist, which I will just ignore, and I will just write my memory verse. But Saturday and Sunday are combined. They were also combined here. After a while, I stopped trying to write the verse twice because sometimes my verse was just too large to be able to write it twice in that little space. Same thing is going to happen here. But I will probably either just write it 5 days a week or use this entire space and just ignore this divider down the middle of the checklist and just write the verse once there. So this is the Passionate Penny Pincher Pocket Planner, and I have a link in my video description for Passionate Penny Pincher if you want to do the same thing I'm doing. If not, then disregard. But some of you have been asking if this pocket planner from Erin Condren is coming back, and unfortunately it's not. So this is my plan for that. Next up in Show and Tell is my monthly kits for the next 2 months, and I just wanted to show you if you haven't seen them. For January, this one's called Cup of Joy, and I love this art because it's like felted illustrations of a bunch of cozy mugs. And I was going to give it a coffee name, but I know a lot of you don't even drink coffee, so I just called it Cup of Joy. So whatever hot beverage, it could be hot cider, it could be hot tea, whatever you like. So this is January, and I'll just flip through the stuff that comes with this. It looks like my numbers have disappeared. Maybe they'll turn up in here. They are. So a few things. The fonts have changed for 2026. This is a different font on the days of the week. The header is a different font here, and on all of these scripts. And then no changes to this page. But then when you get to the last one of these, you'll see that all of these fonts are different now. I have changed my sticker kits to weekly themes, and I added 2 stickers, done and yay. And I think that's the only change other than just that the fonts are different. And then the freebies with this kit are just an enlarged felted mug and some asterisk strips and several little felted mugs. This is the sidebar for the monthly view. And then when we go over to February, this is called Lovely Cottage. And I absolutely love it. It's kind of like tan and red. That's the main scheme here. And there are some cottage illustrations. So here are the date covers, the sidebar. These are the freebies. It's a tray with a couple of little cookies and matching mugs, and it looks like they've got hot chocolate in there. Here are the illustrations. There's a cat and a dog. So if you're a dog person or a cat person, there's something for you. And then here's the freebie of asterisks and the full boxes in deco, dashboard. I went ahead and made all of these red because all of the interior frames on the dashboard boxes are also red. And here is the script sheet. So this is Lovely Cottage. This one is Cup of Joy. Well, friends, that's going to do it for my December setup plan with me. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope you did some planning yourself or just got some ideas. And I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.